Hello, Jill. Come on in and have a seat.
Hi.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm alright. Thanks.
Good,
How are
good.
you?
Not bad, not bad. I love your shirt.
Thank you.
It's so bright. I love it. Just in time for spring, hey?
Yes, I got it at Winners.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Shopping at Winners. That
Yeah.
sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Good, good. How have things been at home?
It's alright, I guess. We moved into our new place last week.
Good, because I remember last week when I met with you, you were concerned because you were still living at the Libra House, which is a shelter here, and I know you were waiting on your application to go through with Newfoundland Housing.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, how did that go? Are you all settled away?
Well, I'm glad to not be at the Libra House anymore because I didn't really like staying there. It's kind of like makes you feel like, I don't know, like it's not a good feeling.
It's not a homey feeling?
No.
Okay.
And there's kind of like everybody looks down on the Libra House. But, yeah, I'm living in an apartment now with Newfoundland Housing, so it's just me and my son.
Good.
It's a nice 2-bedroom place. It's nothing fancy, but it's good to have our own place.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because I know you're a little uncomfortable staying at the Libra House with your son, and yeah, no, I think that's good. You know, it's more homey and stuff. Are you all settled away there, or still unpacking stuff?
We got pretty much everything put away, so.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's excellent. And last week when I met with you, you were talking about how you were still feeling anxiety and depression and that sort of thing. And I'm just wondering, how has your drinking been this week?
This week, I guess, like, I've been trying not to drink so much because CYFS came to my door and told me, like, that they had concerns about my drinking in front of Jake, and I mean, I guess I agree with them. So I've been trying to cut back, but I'm still drinking about like 6 drinks of wine a day, but sometimes more than that. But like normally like 6 a day in the last week.
6 a day. And how does that affect you? Does it bother you? Does it control your life or anything, or do you feel like you can function normally? And is this every day that you feel this way?
Like it's hard because I feel like I need to drink, but I don't feel like it like makes me. I don't think that drinking affects me negatively when I am drunk. Like I'm still me. Like I can still do pretty much everything that I do when I'm sober. It's just that I always feel like I have to be drinking, and that's the hard thing. Is like CYFS doesn't understand that like just because I'm drinking doesn't mean I can't care for my kid. But at the same time, I understand where they're coming from too. But I guess I need to work on cutting down.
Okay. And why do you feel like you have to drink so much?
I don't know. I just sometimes I get overwhelmed and like especially when I start thinking about my ex-husband. We used to drink a lot together, but now even more that we're separated, I find that I'm drinking more than I ever did because whenever I think about him and what he did to me and Jake, I just get so overwhelmed and I don't really have anybody to talk to, so drinking alcohol kind of calms me down and makes me just forget about it for a little while.
I know from our last meeting you said that you've been through a lot with your husband, and you have experienced, emotional, physical pain. You mentioned that you were raped, so that's very hard. And do you feel like that you're coping with all these feelings by drinking?
I guess that's pretty much the only way I know how right now. And I want to stay out of that relationship. So to me, drinking, even though it's not like good, drinking is still better than going back to that. That's, I mean, the better of two evil, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And what happens like when you do drink? Like what goes through your head when you consume, those 6 glasses of wine a day? Like, does your behavior change, do you find, or is everything normal, or do you have thoughts of anything that you wouldn't if you were sober?
No, not really. Like at first I feel good, and then like later on, like a few hours after I've been drinking, I just start feeling really depressed, like
Mhm.
pretty much hating myself. It doesn't really change my behavior, but it definitely makes me feel worse. It's hard to explain. Like I feel bad, and then I start drinking, and I feel good, and then later on, I feel even worse than before.
So it's almost when you start drinking, you have that, little high that you get, you're happy, you roll around, but then after a couple more drinks, it starts to wear away.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just wondering, are you aware that, when you drink, it's an antidepressant, so when you drink, your body changes. So, like, your body becomes more, if you're feeling sad, it's going to amplify that. You're going to feel sadder because of um, the alcohol that goes into your system. So like when you drink and you become intoxicated, then it changes your mind of thinking. And like sometimes when you repress things over time, and I know you've experienced trauma in your life, that sometimes, these feelings come out when you consume alcohol. And so I'm just wondering, does anything change? Like what's your behavior like with your son when you drink?
I didn't know all that, but it kind of makes sense, I guess. It's pretty much how I've been feeling, how you describe.
Mm-hmm.
With my son, like, when I'm drinking, I don't have as much energy as I would when I'm sober. Like, I feel like I'm tired and I just want to relax, and I don't want to, not that I don't want to deal with him, but, like, he's not my priority, and I'm kind of in my own world.
So do you feel that alcohol is making you feel this way? Because, if you wake up with a hangover, and he's up, I don't know what time he gets up. If he gets up at 8 o'clock, for example, do you feel like that you're up, ready to help him get ready for school?
No, it's really hard for me. Like, well, he has missed school sometimes, because, like, not often, but a few times because I was hungover and I couldn't get up, and so I just let him sleep in and play on his iPad. So yeah, sometimes it's hard for me, but I really try to get up, and at least if I can get up and get him out the door, then I can go back to sleep. But either way, I don't want to be sleeping all day. Like, it's tough.
So you find like sleeping all day kind of drags everything out. You feel, correct me if I'm wrong, but you feel like you're not there for your son like you would want to be.
Yeah, like I feel worthless. Like sleeping all day, like only losers sleep all day, and like that's what I'm doing. Like I'm sleeping all day, and then I wake up, and then I start drinking again, and then I sleep all day again, and it's like I drink to feel better, but then I feel worse again. Then I sleep in the next day, and it's just like a pattern that I can't really get out of. Even though I really want to, like I still feel like I need that drink.
Well, it sounds like you feel like alcohol is kind of taking on control of your life. Like you want to be there for your son, but you're finding it difficult to be there for him. You say you have no energy, so like it's exhausting after a while. Whether if you're up all night, that can affect your sleeping patterns as well. When you start drinking, you might not be getting a good night's rest, so then that could cause more stress in your life.
I never get a good night's rest. I'm always either like unable to sleep or having nightmares, and so like when it gets really bad, I'll take sleeping pills, and that kind of helps knock me out a little bit too.
Okay. So I'm just wondering, you say you have nightmares. Would you describe them as night terrors? Like, where sometimes, individuals who experience trauma, sometimes they could have night terrors, which means like they have flashbacks of, what happened to them in the past, or are they just dreams, like out of the ordinary nightmares?
Well, I'd say some of them are night terrors. Like a lot of things I dream about are like things that happened to me in the past, and it's kind of like maybe a few things about it are different, but basically I'm living the same thing over again. And then there's other scary dreams I have where I'm like, Jake is removed from my care and there's nothing I can do, or things like that. But always hard to sleep when you have dreams like that.
Yeah, for sure. That, that sounds very difficult, and it sounds like it could be frustrating too sometimes for you, and you're ready to get a good night's sleep, but you've been drinking, is sometimes like those emotions will come out in dreams because you've consumed alcohol and then you're dreaming of it because you're cognitively aware what's happened, and so that kind of replays in your mind. So I'm just wondering, you keep dreaming about your son being taken away. Are you afraid that your son will be taken away by CYFS?
Yeah, like it's hard not to be afraid when they're coming and they're saying that I have to stop drinking in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And I, like, as much as I agree with them and I want to stop drinking in the home, like, I don't really have anywhere else that I can drink, and I feel like I need to drink.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to them, I'm saying I haven't been drinking, and I'm just hoping that they don't catch me, because every now and then I do have to slip a few drinks just to keep myself going through the day. So, I'm terrified that they're going to find out.
So chances are you do consume alcohol in front of your son sometimes, or in like the house where he is. So, do you find yourself intoxicated around him sometimes, or?
Sometimes, but like I said earlier, like I'm not like that different, other than having not much energy and being a bit withdrawn. Like I don't abuse him or anything. Like
Okay.
I'm not like that.
But would you say, there could be possible neglect where sometimes, you don't feel like getting off to, like, getting breakfast or dressed or ready for school and that sort of thing? Because that is a form of neglect to a child. And so it seems like, you want, I can tell that you really want to be a good parent, and I know you are, but, like, sometimes, the drinking, is a little too much, and, like, that affects, like, the way you parent your child, the way you see yourself, so, cause depression because you don't see yourself as worthy. It sounds like you lack some self-esteem because of the traumatic experiences that you've experienced. I'm just wondering, like, what your support's like in your life.
Well, I have a sister. I guess she's like doing a bit better than me. Like she has a good job and stuff, but she also is really unpredictable too.
Okay.
So, like, I mean, sometimes she's there for us, and then sometimes I don't hear from her for a few weeks, and I'm not sure what's going on. But other than that, like, I used to rely on my ex-husband a lot for pretty much everything. Like, I wasn't really allowed to talk to many other people, so I don't have many friends.
Okay. And do you have any contact with your ex-husband now or anything?
No, I don't. Sometimes I wish I did, and then other days I'm like, thank God I don't. Like, it's a roller coaster, but no, we haven't spoken for about 6 months now.
Okay, so sometimes you feel like you think, like, I wish I was back with him again, like, things could be different.
Yeah.
So when you think of these thoughts, is it, like, because, when you're drinking, you feel like, things could work out with you and your family, or is it when you're sober and you're like, well, maybe it could be, how does that look?
I guess both. Like, it's hard to say, but when I'm drinking, though, it kind of reminds me of the times that we had together, because we used to drink together quite a bit.
So yeah, that was your, I guess, bonding time, was drinking, was it? So, yeah, of course you're gonna, have kind of like good flashbacks of like when you guys were doing well and that sort of thing. But if, sometimes, when you drink too much, you become intoxicated, you're putting your son at risk. But it sounds like to me, correct me if I'm wrong, that, you feel like you want to be a good parent. It feels like, you want to make change. Like, you came in here, 2 weeks ago, and you said you didn't think you had a problem, and now you're, then you were kind of deciding last week, it's like, okay, like maybe this is an issue, child protection is involved. Your victim service social worker is, very supportive of you and what you've went through, the trauma that you've experienced with your ex-husband, and now you're talking to me about your addiction, and so it sounds like, you want to make some change in your life.
I do. Like, I do want to change. It's just that, like, right now, like, I don't want to be drinking in front of Jake, and I don't want to put him at risk, and I don't want him to be removed from me. So, so I know I need to change. It's just I don't know how.
Exactly, and you've come to the right place, Jade, and I'm really glad to see, like, the difference from, like, 2 weeks ago to now, because you've come a long way, and it seems like you want to make that change in your life for you and your son. You've got your house now, you're getting settled away there, you're getting income, social assistance, and so now maybe we can start looking at getting your drinking under control. And I'm just wondering, would you like to come up with a plan? Would you be interested in that, to maybe cut back on your drinking? Like, try your best, whether it's put your alcohol in a fridge or something, and just limit yourself to maybe like half of the amount that you have, maybe 3 glasses of wine a night instead of 6.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
3, yeah, I think I could do 3.
3.
Might be 4, but
might be 4. So that
I
range.
might not be very good at it at first, but I definitely want to try.
Exactly. So maybe that's something we can look into, because then it would start limiting your drink, and you're not becoming so intoxicated, because once you start drinking so much, you start building a tolerance to it, and you experience withdrawal when you come off of it really fast. So as an addictions counselor, we look at it from a harm reduction approach. We start trying different ways to see what's going to work best for you, so you don't experience these bad withdrawal experiences. Sometimes it could be vomiting, headaches, feeling depressed. You feel like you need that one drink, but like your body is craving it, so you have cravings. So maybe if we try something like just see how your body reacts and how you feel about cutting back your drinking from instead of 6 glasses of wine a night, how about we try 3 or 4 glasses a night, and see how you feel about that.
Okay.
And so I'm just wondering, because on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the least and 10 being the most, how would you feel, if you could, like, where are you to change on that scale? Like, where do you see yourself right now, and like coming up with this plan of limiting your drinking, being there for your son, and getting your life back on track of where you want to be? Where are you on that scale?
Well, ever since I started coming to you, like, I started realizing more, like, what I have to do, and now that we have a plan, like, I guess I have the tools to do it. It's just that I have to make myself do it. I guess, like, maybe an 8 is where it would be.
Good, excellent. That's awesome. And so I'm really glad to hear that, because last week when you were here, you were a 5, and now you're gone to an 8. So that's really good, and I'm so glad to see that you want to make change in your life. I know you've been through a lot, and I'm really happy that you're showing up to your appointments. That's awesome. And I know you're a good mom, and I know that you want to do the best for your son. So you're on the right road, my dear, and I'm so proud of you for that.
Thank you. So are we still going to meet next Friday?
Yeah, for sure. So we'll set up an appointment with you for next week. So how about a week from today?
Okay.
So next Friday you come back again and like just discuss, how you felt when you started limiting your drinks.
Okay.
And like, not consuming so much wine a night. And maybe like then we'll take the next plan, and however you feel then, we'll come up with a better plan.
Okay. That sounds awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming, Jane.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you.